Hello everyone. This is our presentation. The speaker is me and my partner Pan Kang Hong. Okay. Today I will analyzing the cultural dimensions of India and China using Hofstede's framework with the Indian film Dango. This comparison will highlight how deeply rooted cultural values shape society behaviors and interactions in both nations. Okay, here is our menu. Have six parts. Before we begin, let's first understand the film. Dango is an Indian biographical film based on a true story of Mahavir Sen Phogat, a former wrestler who trains his daughters, Geeta and Babita, to become world-class athletes. The film challenges traditional gender roles in rural India and celebrates resilience, family bonds, and society change. Okay. Let's start with power distance in India and China. Power distance in India. In Dango, Mahavir's authoritarian parenting reflects India's high power distance. His daughter obeys strict rules, symboling difference to parental and social hierarchies. Social hierarchies in India and is influenced by caste and social states. But in China also scales how high in power distance, rooted in Confucian respect for elders and institutions' authority. However, China inspires age and positions authority over caste. Let's move to part 2. Part 3. Individualism vs collectivism. First is collectivism in India. Dango highlights collectivism through family honor and community pride. The girls' success is championed for their village, not just themselves. Decisions balance individuals' aspirations with collective expectations. In China, collectivism here centers on guanxi and group harmony. I make an example. A Chinese student might choose a stable career to honor their family, even if it sacrifices personal passion. Next is part 4. Masculinity and femininity. Masculinity in India. Dango challenges gender norms but embraces masculinity trends like competition. Mahavir's mantra, "Win gold for India," reflects a society value achievement. The film's success sends Indian gradual shift toward gender equality. But in China, historical muscle, modern China balances competitiveness with harmony. It is also example economic growth is celebrated, but social stability remains paramount. Next, we come to uncentrally avoidance. In the movie Moderate Uncentrally Avoidance, Mahavir's adapts training methods despite in society backlash. Indian saves in ambiguity, saying its device beliefs and informal economy. In China, high uncentrally avoidance performs sculpture and predictability. Education and career paths are meticulously planned to minimize risks. The sixth dimension is long-term and short-term orientation. In the movie, it showed moderate long-term orientation. Mahavir's decade-long training mirrors perseverance rooted in Hindu philosophy. In China, it showed high long-term orientation. Confucian values drive investments in infrastructure and education. I have an example. The Belt and the Road Initiative reflects China's focus on literacy. Next is the last part. Indulgence vs restaurant. Restaurant is seen in ghost spectacles such as cutting hair and religious discipline. In China, it varies self-control and duty to collective goals. Okay, this above is my explanation of the cultural difference between this movie and China from the 7 aspects. Thank you for listening. The part of advancing will be said by my partner Pan Kanghong. Okay.
Thanks to my partner for showing the moving part. My name is Pan Kanghong. Today I'm going to talk about Nike's advertising in China and America, and I will compare how Nike's ads are different or similar in these two countries. My context is divided into 4 parts. The first part is advertising introduction. The second part is the similarities and difference. The third part is the optimizations, and the fourth part is the summary. Now let's start with the introduction. The first is Nike's ad was in China.
China.
New rules, boss. Euro clubs can only sign 3 Chinese players.
Ich will als SIPG spielen, Digga. Du spielst immer Schande.
已经90分钟了。
再来。
陈天拿球，
陈天突破了防守，就看他了，射门。
And the second ad is the Nike ad was in America.
You can't be demanding. You can't be relentless. You can't put yourself first. So, put yourself first. You can't be confident. So be confident. You can't challenge. So challenge. You can't dominate. So dominate. You can't flex. So flex. You can't fill a stadium. So fill that stadium. You can't be emotional, so be emotional. You can't take credit. You can't speak up. You can't be so ambitious. You can't break records. You can't have any fun. You can't make demands. Proud. You can't keep score. You can't stand out. Whatever you do, you can't win. So win.
After watching these ads, I would like to summarize them in 3 words. The ads in China can be described as collectivism, anticipation, and integration. I choose collectivism because the ad envisioning Chinese football global dominance highlights teamwork and national pride, sparking public enthusiasm for sports. Thirdly, anticipation fits as it encourages the young to aim high by comparing present and futures. Thirdly, integration works well since it blends sports aspirations with traditional Chinese values like boldness and brave. For the US, realistic ads sub it up with individualism, confrontation, and marketing. First, the focus is on female athletes, showing how they break gender biases and pursue self-worth, which shows individualism. Second, confrontation fits because the ad tackles female stereotypes hand on with a strong stance. Third, and the marketing works as it uses the hot gender equality issue in the West to promote the brand and boost its US influence. Now, let's talk about the similarities between Nike's ads in both countries. Firstly, they always spread the spirit of the Nike brand. No matter in China or America, Nike wants used to be brave, to be active, and to never give up. Second, the visual expressions in their ads are as catching. They use cool color, amazing images, and energetic designs. And third, they try to make us feel something. They want to create an emotional resonance. When we see a Nike ad, we may feel excited, or we may or want to go out and do some sports right away. We can also view it from the perspective of global culture. There are 2 main points. First, in the power descendants dimension, both show similar performance in the power descendants dimension. They both weaken the power structure and enhance the equal status of everyone in sports activities. Second, in the uncertainty avoidance dimension, both show acceptance of challenges and the unknown. There to become encourages young Chinese football players to pursue their dreams briefly, not fearing the current difficulties and the future uncertainties of Chinese football. In solving, female athletes briefly break social prejudice against women, challenging the unknown possibility of success, and aren't afraid of the risk of failure. However, there are also some big differences. I have selected 5 points from the global cultural dimension and conducted a comparative analysis between the two countries. First, from the perspective of the collectivism and individualism. In China, there is an emphasis on collective dreams, teamwork, and shared honor, highlighting the importance of a group harmony. In America, however, people focus on individual breakthroughs, self-actualization, and in the independent expression. And we can regarding performance orientation. China value both results and precise, along with spiritual motivation. American, on the other hand, lays stress on quantitative results and the correct proof. In terms of gender egalitarianism, China implicitly promotes gender equality through universal value. American confront gender biases directly and actively advocates for equality. The number 4 is concerning future orientation. China sets long term visions and makes collective plans. American focuses on the present with individuals taking immediately active actions. As for human orientedness, China strengthens a sense of belonging through collective emotional resonance. American pays attention to individual emotional drawing by inner needs. The part 3 is optimization. So how can Nike make their ads even better? I think have 3 points. The first point is the theme of the ads should fit the local cultural value. For example, in China, they can use more elements that Chinese people love, like traditional Chinese sports or famous Chinese athletes. In American, they can focus more on what American people care about, like the latest sports trends. The second is the context expressions should also adapt to a cultural habit. Use words and images that people in each country can easily understand and like. The third is communication strategies should fit the cultural environment. In China, we can use social media platforms like WeChat and Douyin. In American, they can use Instagram or TikTok more. The fourth part is the last part, summary. In conclusion, advertising design really needs to fit the cultural characteristics, and companies like Nike should start cultural difference carefully. Only in this way can they make great ads that everyone likes. And as consumers, we can also learn a lot from these ads about different cultures. Thank you for your listening.